So here we are. This is our second match in today's Sunday 9-ball in the 10-footer. And we saw GaryB earlier on playing his semi-final match. And we've got GaryB playing Ron, or Freeball, who's from down south in England. And Ron is getting 2 racks in this final in the race to 7. Gary wins the lag, gets the break, and gets a... what ball did he get? A 6-ball. 6-ball in the break, tucking the 1 ball down the left hand rail. 2-ball passes a 3 if he can hold the cue ball for it. And he's managed to do that. It's well controlled. And I can't see any other problem ball bar this 5-ball, so it's all about getting position across, and he's got the angle, so he can drop the 4 into the corner, and as long as you get reasonable enough weight on this shot, the cue ball's going to naturally come across for the 5 down into this top left. And again, he's got a slight angle, so he can just use the weight of shot to come off the rail. It looks as if he's drawn it back just a wee bit, though he doesn't need an awful lot. There's plenty of room to see this 7-ball, which he's done. However, he's now got a big angle here, so chances are he's going to have to run the cue ball around the corner after this 7. And he's managed to do that as well. And provided he leaves an angle on the 8, which I think he's just managed to leave enough angle, he can go through and come out with a bit of English for the 9, which is fine. He's got that okay. So that was everything you could ask for in that first rack. You win the lag, you get a ball in a break, and your opponent doesn't get a shot. That's the way to sort out the handicap problem. So Gary wins the first rack. He also gets another ball in a break. What went that time? A 4-ball, 4 and a 5. This time, however, he's not been as fortunate on the 1 ball. It still goes into the middle, but he's chose to bank it, and he's perfect in the 2. Is he? Let's have a wee look. Yeah, well, he's going to have to squeeze a wee bit more angle here, I think, to get down on this 3. This is a tough one. He needs to avoid the traffic as well, and he might have overhit that. Yep. Just overcooked it. And so he should be looking to send this 3-ball somewhere down into that middle diamond in the top of the screen as we look. And just keep the cue ball down here, somewhere behind the 8 would be ideal. Well, that's even better. Get it in behind the 9. That was almost a tactical genius shot there. There's still room here for Ron to kick at this. And he's got the kick. Is he going to get really lucky? Yes, he has. He's got the kick, and he has knocked the 9 in. Well, that's what can change the course of a match. I mean, Gary's played a safety there, which was an excellent safety. Ron's kicked round the table and managed to somehow knock the 9 in, so whereas Gary was looking at tying the match up at 2-all, it's suddenly 3-1 in favour of Ron. And that's the breaks you need. And it all counts in 9-ball. He's got to make the most of it. And he's went for a over ambitious cut on that too there. He should have really looked for a good safety. Keep the pressure on Gary. Gary's the man that's got the work to do. And he's just checked that cue ball there to keep it from running into the 3. Again, that's showing he knows what he's doing. He needs a wee bit more angle though, so again he's just going to have to punch this a bit. And as long as he doesn't scratch and doesn't go behind that jaw, he's fine. Perfect angle on the 4. I don't think he maybe, can he avoid hitting this 9? He might want to put a wee bit of draw on this to avoid the 9. Yeah, he's digging down a bit. Just maybe try and stun it up past it. Well, he couldn't avoid the 9. But he's reasonably okay. He can just come off the end rail round the corner and out for the 8. And the 9's sitting fairly adjacent to that top right hand corner. And dead straight on the 8. Managed to squeeze an angle, I think, or maybe there's a wee bit more angle than I thought. But no prizes for guessing here, just drop it in dead weight. And Gary gets another rack on the board. Still trailing by the odd rack though. How's his luck? Well, something flew in to the right hand corner. And it was the 3 ball. He's got a shot in the 1, the 2 balls over the right middle, 4 balls going into the left middle, and the problem ball is the 8. It's tied up next to the 9. But if he can't get a good shot on this 8, if he gets that far, he can certainly tuck Ron up tight behind the 9 if he gets the right position. You may well also be thinking about trying to get some sort of angle on this 7 ball so that it can maybe either come off a rail and go into the 8 and 9, or just draw it off the 7 and go into the 8 and 9. We'll soon find out. Well, this is going to be risky because he's got an angle to go into the 7, the 8 and 9, but to get on the 7 he's going to have to just ride his luck, and this is a dangerous shot. Well, he's got the split. How's his luck? Well, his luck's there because he's sitting pretty straight in the 7, I think, and just needs to draw it back an inch or 2. And he took the opportunity to split the 8 and 9 when he had it, and had to rely on a wee bit of luck just to get on the 7. He could have played that a bit better though. He's tucking this back into a blind pocket. Should get it though. And so now we've got a tied match. Yes, we have. Aye, I'm getting ahead of myself here. It's now 3 racks all. Race to 7. This time though, he's came up dry. And Ron's got a shot in the 1. Should be able to get down onto the 2. And the problem ball this time's the 5. Well, anybody who has an idea of what Ron tried there, you can let me know. Gary couldn't avoid the blocking balls there, so now he should possibly be looking for a A good safety here. There's plenty of covering balls. He's went for the bank. He's missed it. Now, can Ron get an angle on this 4? 3 isn't the problem. The problem's here if he can get an angle on the 4. He's gone inside the 4 rather than outside it, where he was maybe taken into the right middle. He could have ran through and possibly split the 5 and 9. But can he cut this into the middle and do it? Well, he's missed a cut and didn't get the pace. I think he was trying to roll dead weight behind that 5, which was asking a lot. But Gary's now the one with the problem, and there is an angle again to go through and off the side rail and across and try and manoeuvre something here. But Gary, not being over ambitious, thinks the bank's a much easier way of going about things. Now, cue ball's really close to the 6. He's putting into a blind pocket here a bit. Let's look at it from that side. Yeah. And it goes. Shouldn't be any problems here. Cue ball just going to come across nice for this 8. Now he's got an awful lot of room to manoeuvre here. Does he want to leave the long 9, or does he want to come down the bottom end here for the 9 into the middle? No, choosing the easier option. Just leave it simple. So GaryB goes into a 4 racks to 3 lead. And let's have a quick look at the bracket while Gary's breaking in this next rack. We see that obviously the 2 of them are in the final, but the 3rd and 4th place players in this tournament, that's the other semi-finalists, they both won $40. I think the entry fee was 20, so they've doubled their stake, and the losing finalists will get $70 and the winner gets double that. He'll get 140. So there's a good few people getting a wee payout there. Remember, the more people that get into the tournament, the bigger the share of the box office receipts, so to speak. Right, so where are we? We've got Gary still at the table. He's going to have to just shape this 4, hit the right hand side of it so it brushes into the 8. He's got that. And this looks to be plain sailing again for Gary. He's coming on strong when it matters. Remember, Gary was 2 racks behind at the start of this match, going by the handicapping system. Ron was getting the 2 racks to start with, so Gary's doing pretty well. And there's not a lot you can do when you aren't at the table. That's the great thing about pool games and snooker and things like that in general. If you're not at the table and your opponent's potting balls, that's it. You can't complain, you can't do anything. I think Gary's certainly dialed in now as far as the 10-foot table goes. Just takes a rack or 2 to get your weight a shot. He breaks off in rack number 9, and he's got no joy this time though. And I think, well, that 2 just passes a 7. So Ron's got his work cut out now. He's already had a look at the 2, sees it goes past the 7. And again he's got to somehow get this cue ball up into the middle of the table. Somewhere up around the middle spot would be perfect, where that 5 ball is near enough. And again he's taking his eye off it, concentrating on the 3 and forgot about the 2. But he's got the blocker with the 2. I think Gary will probably just jump over this. And Gary's got absolutely no control on this cue ball once he does jump, and actually just followed it in and scratched. Now this is Ron's second chance. He really needs to concentrate now, because Gary getting to 6-3 at the end of this rack, I think we might be asking too much. He's got to keep control of this cue ball. The angle's there just to run round and come into the heart of the table again for this 6. Well, he's drawn it onto the end rail and back up. That gave him better control. And I think is he dead straight, or has he got a slight angle? I think he can just roll through, yeah. So I think Ron is going to stem the flow of racks here. And of course, crucially now, in rack number 10, Ron's going to have the break, so he needs a bit of luck. Well, I think the wing ball flew in there. I think the 2 went into the right middle. The 9 ball's flown in, and that solves that problem. So all of a sudden, and again, the wing ball and the 3 balls flown in. The 1 ball's gone in, the 2 balls gone into the top left. Now, how unlucky is that? He's got no shot in the 4. And doesn't want to leave Gary the opportunity to tie him up behind this 9, so he's got to be thinking about that if he's going to play a push out. And Gary will just bury that cue ball right against the 9 if he does, if he leaves him any semblance of a shot without moving that 4. Yeah, and I think he might be regretting that shot in a second or two, provided Gary isn't blocked out by that jaw, because he'll obviously put him back in. Gary just looking to kill the cue ball right next to the 9, and hopefully for his sake he doesn't bank it. Yep, he's played it well. Now you could see that coming a mile away, as long as Ron kept the cue ball at the bottom end of the table here, that Gary was going to bury him behind the 9. And Ron kicks the 4. He's left it out in the open though. Now let's look at the 5. Does that 5 squeeze by the 6? I think it does, and I think he can cheat the pocket, but he has to play it dead weight if he's going to go that side of it. But Gary once again looks as if he's more content to play the bank, or maybe look for a safety. We'll soon find out. He goes for the, I think it was a sort of half-hearted bank, because he's put the 5 ball where exactly you'd want to put it, right in the middle of the end rail, and put the pressure on Ron. Ron's went for an ambitious cut, and he's paid the price, or he's about to pay the price. And Ron, after that quick work of getting himself right back into the match, he's maybe going to sell this rack here. And that's finished perfect. Dead straight in the 8. Just kill the cue ball right exactly where the 8 ball is. And a dead straight 9 as well. So Gary goes on to rack number 12, and he leads by 6 racks to 5, so he just needs one more to clinch the tournament, and he also gets a ball and a break, which is the 4 ball, and he's on the 1, and he's got a 2-9 combo, so this match is over. As long as he can stop the cue ball there or thereabouts, he'll just drop that 2 onto the 9. Well, maybe he thought better of it, but I would have thought that it would have been easy just to somehow, maybe I wasn't looking at the angle properly, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I certainly would have been looking at stopping the cue ball and just bunting that 2 onto the 9. But Gary seems content to try and run this rack, but we'll see if it works out in his favour. Problem ball is going to be the 6. It's tight in the left rail. But he's got a nice angle on the 5. He can just drop off this end rail and onto the side rail, but he doesn't want to leave it dead straight. He wants to leave a slight angle, which he has, and that can get the cue ball out, so he can take this 7 ball down into the bottom left as we look at it. He just needs to use the angle to get that cue ball out into the table a wee bit. Doesn't need to do a lot, but he seems to be drawn back again. Well, no, he hasn't. I thought he was digging down an awful lot, but he's okay. And so Gary just applying the finishing touches to this match. And Gary wins the match and $140 wins the match by 7 racks to 5.